All right, so there are some shortcuts that we can use for, in particular, this kind of a line of code is super common. And so when you're adding something to a value, so take whatever's inside this container and add this much to it, that's very common. So instead of writing circle y equals circle y plus y speed, programmers developed a handy shortcut. So we can just say plus equals y speed. So what this line says is the exact same thing. So it says take whatever's in here and add to that y speed. So let's shorten some of our code. It makes it more readable once you get used to it. So circle x equals plus equals x speed. So that just means add to the current value of circle x whatever is in the speed container. All right, and so we can do that down here. Y plus equals random from -1 to, yeah, and then x speed plus equals random. All right, so that's kind of how far the text lesson goes, and it's a good place to stop if you want to challenge. So you can challenge yourself right now to add gravity to the bouncing, or to the ball that bounces around. I'm not gonna make you add gravity if you on your own. It's a weird concept at first. It's frankly easy once you know how to do it, like many things. But so let's talk about what gravity is. So velocity or speed is an object's, like how the pace at which an object moves from A to B. So it's a change in the position. Gravity is a constant change in the speed. So all gravity is, if we're changing the position by the speed, all we have to do to get gravity is change the y speed by gravity every time through the loop. So let's start a variable called gravity. And if you've taken physics or calculus, this is often called, y speed is called like as the derivative of the position, and gravity is the derivative of the velocity function. But if you're not familiar with that, don't worry about it. It's not something that you'll ever have to know for the AP test. All right, so let's give gravity a value of something like 1.4. And gravity needs to change. So here, look here, we're changing the position by the speed. So let's just change the speed by gravity. And I think that we need to, yeah, let's see how this works. So you can see there that, yeah, in fact, it's going kind of nuts. But I think now I don't want to do this because it makes it kind of bizarre. So let's run it without. Okay, yeah. The other thing we need to do, if you're following along with this tutorial, is set some max values for gravity, because you can see the ball just kind of going nuts and bouncing higher and higher. That's a function of us not having done any capping. So we're going to cap the potential for gravity, and we're going to say float max speed, and then we're going to set, max speed, and we'll set the maximum speed to something like 10. So max speed equals 10. And now we're going to add this cap down here to our draw function. So every time it goes through the loop, we're going to say if the y speed is greater than max speed, we'll just set it to the maximum speed. Y speed, we want it to be set to the max speed, not to exceed it at that point. And then we actually have to do this in the reverse too to handle the case where it's going too fast up. So if negative, so it's going up, negative y speed, or if y speed, excuse me, we don't have to do negative. If the y speed is less than negative max speed, we want the y speed to equal negative max speed. And so this will have, I think, solved the problem of the ball bouncing too high. Okay, but 10 is too little. So if you want, I mean, 10 is whatever, but you can change it to like 30 if you want it to bounce higher. So it can go faster and, you know, bigger. 30 is probably too high. Yeah, it gets caught up top. Oh, you know what? We don't want this less than... We don't want it to bounce off... Well... Let's not have it bounce off the top. So let's take out this less than 0 thing if you're following along with me, because that's where it's getting kind of wonky. And we'll set this back to like 20. So now if we run it, I think... Yeah. Okay. So why is it going off screen? Well, that's a good question. We need to see if you can solve that problem. But I can tell you if the circle is greater than circle. Oops, I deleted the wrong one. If circle x is less than 0, and we want to take out if circle y is less than 0. But here we're going to change the position. Well, never mind. If I can show you how to fix that if you'd like. Otherwise, just don't worry about it. Okay. That's enough. Or you can just take off the X speed thing if you just want the ball to bounce up and down. So if we do if we omit that, it'll just bounce in place, which is kind of fun. Okay, that's enough for this video.